Mason, I hate to
interrupt
harp on about this.
Okay, I was going to say, you hate to interrupt me dropping this bottle cap on the table
that's right.
a bunch of times.
But it is the spookiest time of year. And it's not tax season. It's just, it is. Like this is independent of tax season. It is the spookiest time of the year.
That's really interesting.
Which is an ideal time for Marvel to release their very first special presentation. That's being a werewolf.
Mark Ruffalo does his taxes in real time.
He doesn't have like a person?
He does, but he likes to go over it himself because, he's not.
A lot of celebrities are like, they look at all their money and then they go, I don't have any money anymore.
Yeah,
what happened?
Exactly right. He's learned lessons from other.
That's smart.
That's right. But he's doing it from his iPhone, isn't he?
Wouldn't he?
He's doing his taxes on his iPhone. Yeah.
Typical.
He got it for free as well, didn't he?
Did he?
Yeah.
Typical Mason.
Yeah. How do you write that off? He's like, how do I write off my free iPhone on my iPhone?
I never liked him. Never liked him, Mason.
Yeah, same.
Hypocrite.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, so Werewolf by Night. What do you think the story could have been?
Oh.
We're going to do a little bit of non-spoilers and then we'll just do mostly spoilers.
Sure. Oh, what it is that the famed monster hunter Ulysses Bloodstone has passed away.
Yep.
And
has he though?
Great question.
About it, yeah.
And a collection of the most renowned monster hunters from around the globe have gathered at Bloodstone Manor.
Yeah.
Because they have to prove their mettle and defeat a monster that's going to be released on the grounds, and if they do so, they get access. They take ownership of the Bloodstone itself, which gives you mighty mystical powers.
That's right. They have to go into the Harry Potter maze.
That's right.
Some Harry Potter 4.
Or the Maze Runner maze.
It's more of a I don't know if it's a Maze Runner maze as much as a Mason. Is it really?
No, it's just
you don't think
maze.
So?
No.
It's a bit Maze Runner, actually. I mean, anything with a maze.
Yeah. It's a bit. It's like a maze from that movie with Michael Caine in it. Michael Caine stuck in a maze.
Maze Cocaine?
Yes, James. Not Michael Maze.
No, Mason.
Okay, right.
What's the one with Michael?
It got a remake. I've even talked about it on this podcast.
Not the Jude Law one.
Yeah, that's the one.
They're in a maze in that?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's maze-like elements to it, yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. What's it called? I've talked about it. It doesn't matter. I'll get to it later.
Yeah. Okay.
But in the original version, he's like the young. He's the young buck, and then in the new one, he's the old bloke. Yeah,
I've seen the newer one. Yeah. So we get a Marvel intro, and you think it's just the regular Marvel intro, but there's always going to be a twist. And this time, there's bigger like werewolf slashes, and it turns to black and white, and it goes boo.
Absolutely, yes.
So what's interesting about this is Michael Giacchino. Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is his directorial debut, and he normally does.
I don't even know that for sure, to be honest. But I said it with confidence, so he's going to believe me.
I do believe you. He normally does scores.
Yes, he did the soundtracks. He did the score for the Batman.
Yeah, exactly. And he's done a bunch of Marvel stuff, and he also actually scored this, which is kind of unusual.
Out of 10.
Yeah, did he?
From his iPhone.
He would, wouldn't he? Yeah. I never liked him.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's more of like John Carpenter used to do
that's true.
Like that. But I think that's pretty impressive that he's doing both of these things. But all in all, I thought this was quite good. I had a pretty. I had a lot of fun.
I had a super fun time with this.
Yeah.
Do you think he got this gig because of his fun little pun titles on all of his songs?
Oh,
do you think
wouldn't have hurt? I'll tell you that much.
That's right. I think people saw it and they were like, "Oh, this guy's got a little something going on. This guy's a bit of sass. This guy's got a bit of color. He'll do anything."
Yeah, absolutely. And I think also a big part of this, which made it feel like authentic and kind of. It's set in the modern day, but it harkens back to your monster movies of like the 50s and whatever. But the music it's very good and really it really adds to this the whole atmosphere. And I think though it's not entirely convincing as something that came out of the 50s. Like it's clearly still filmed on digital, and there's you get the real change, that little black circle,
the cigarette burn,
appears, and things like that. I don't think it looks convincing entirely as as something filmed on film.
Sure, absolutely, yeah.
But all in all, I think it was
a nice return to having any film grain at all on a Marvel
production.
Yeah. Even if it was added in post.
Yeah, but I think also, it being set in the modern day and whatever, it's a good middle ground between how they film things normally and something of old. Mm-hmm. So I think that, most of the time it worked really well. And, effects there's some electricity effects and other kind of effects in this that kind of feel more kind of old school than a bunch of CGI slapped on top of a thing. Though there is a bunch of CGI slapped on top of a thing in this. The set design as well, really good.
Agreed.
Really enjoyed all of that. complicated, complex rooms and like stone structures and different creatures' heads that have been hunted and mounted.
Yeah, I didn't recognize all of them. I think
I've got a bit of a list.
Is one of them the Wendigo, or at least a Wendigo?
There is.
Was one of them Zemnu the Titan? One of them looked like Zemnu the Titan.
Have I got this written down? Okay, we can do this now. So some of the monsters that appear.
To be clear, these aren't spoilers. These are just these are monster heads on a wall. Yeah.
Yeah. So we see Bigfoot.
Okay.
We see a Nosferatu-style vampire. So I guess that means there's Nosferatu-style vampires, and then there's like regular kind of vampires, I assume, that Blade's going
to be seen,
fighting.
Yeah.
There's a Wendigo. There's like some kind of two-headed siren creature.
Okay.
There's a Minotaur. There's a Yeti, and what looks like Amphibian.
Okay,
which is
yeah,
like
right.
like a sea creature kind of situation. There's also looks like at the start you see like a tapestry or like a book kind of explaining, and there's like a bunch of stuff written in Latin. One of them, like it shows like a bunch of monster hunters, and one of them looks like it could be the Black Knight.
I see.
And I wonder whether they're going to tie the Black Knight to maybe vampire hunting or something. It seems as a Black Knight also meets Blade at the end of the Eternals.
Maybe.
Blade should have been in this though, right?
Well, maybe he is no spoilers. He's not. Yeah, I mean, maybe, but maybe there was a scheduling conflict.
Oh, well, yeah, we talked about that. That might have been a thing, but I don't know. I think it would have been a really cool introduction.
But I think I'm very excited for a new era of spooky supernatural Marvel characters teaming up to battle some sort of supernatural menace.
Sure.
And I think it would make sense if you went, even if you were like, Dracula. They're going to fight Dracula, and so we need Blade and we need the Black Knight and everybody else, and he's got an army of monsters. I think that would be great.
Do you think because there's a vampire on the wall, and he's like, I recognize that. I fought that dude once or whatever. Mm-hmm. Do you think there was a chance that like that was Dracula? Can they use Dracula? Anyone can use Dracula, right? Yeah.
But you have to have him use a different Apple product, obviously.
Yes. You got it, don't you?
If you want people not to respect him, you give him an iPhone, obviously.
You know what? I found this, like, for a Marvel movie, this is or a Marvel property, it's quite gory.
Yes.
But it's mostly just like CGI blood and maybe a decapitation every now and then or a throat cut. Mm-hmm. But after this, I went and I watched The American Werewolf in London, but just the bit where the werewolf tears through London.
Just freaks out right at the end. Yeah.
Like bites a dude's head off and it rolls across the bonnet of a car, and then like all these cars like crash into each other and people fly into the street and get run over. And I was watching that and I was like, I kind of wish they turned the carnage up on this.
Yeah, but I mean, this is the biggest they can do at this point.
Absolutely. And that's only because like I wouldn't have been like, oh, that seems a bit tame if I hadn't immediately after watched that other clip.
But also maybe this is, and you also, I don't think you would say this is particularly, it's not hugely violent compared to, say, Blade, like the first Blade movie or something like that.
Also, you get away with stuff because it's in black and white.
Yes,
It's like with the first Kill Bill, one of the sequences, because it was going to be like, they were going to jack the rating up on that to something ridiculous, because there's a moment at the end where the lead character, Kill Bill, she kills like 88 dudes or whatever. It's not 88, but it's,
Ironically, doesn't kill Bill though, does she, in that first movie?
No. That's
Despite her name.
Despite her name, yeah. And they changed it to black and white because
to get around
there's so many limbs cut off and blood spraying happening. And I think that's a similar thing.
I guess the bar, in terms of gore and violence, the bar has been set quite low by Marvel, but maybe this is a stepping stone. Maybe we're going to get more gore and violence in Blade and subsequent movies.
Yeah.
Maybe we're getting two different tracks. Maybe we're getting like family-friendly Marvel going in one direction, but we've got the supernatural stuff is a bit grosser. Like a Marvel Knights or a Marvel Max kind of situation where one, probably not, this is wishful thinking on my behalf, but maybe that is a way it could go, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
They want to maximize box office returns, so probably not ultimately, but
if you're putting it out on a streaming service,
that's true.
You can kind of get away with it. But I also think you do need to still tone it down, because this appears on like kids access this app.
Right.
And, I think
your kid's accessing it right now.
Yeah, it's fine though.
He's watching that bit from American Werewolf in London.
No, I put that on.
Okay, great.
That was from me. So if they did accidentally come across this, you wouldn't want it. You wouldn't want that kind of backlash, I'm guessing.
Let me ask you this, though, James. If a kid does encounter this, are they going to watch it?
Watch it or like, Yeah, or enjoy. I don't know.
Are they not?
maybe,
Are they going to watch the first 2 minutes and go, okay, this is black and white and nothing is happening?
I don't think kids now associate black and white with like old movies and that.
Okay.
It's like a filter now.
Oh, I see,
As
right.
opposed to like, oh, black and white, yuck, which is what
Okay.
we were like as kids.
Yeah.
Yuck, get this away from me.
Ew.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe I'm probably wrong about that.
think just the very fact that it doesn't begin with an action sequence.
Yes.
Then it would be enough to turn most kids away, I think. It's just a variety of people with different beards showing up at a mansion.
And going. Should we just do spoilers from now on?
Yes, I mean, but just before we get into that, the cast is great. Gael
This better not be
García
another
Bernal.
one bit of news, Mason, just before, and then you say one bit of boring news.
I like the cast, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's okay.
Gael García Bernal is good. We get Laura Donnelly as Elsa Bloodstone.
She was great. I really
good.
liked that character.
A touch of the Kristen Ritters in Jessica Jones.
I had that as well. I had that same kind of vibe. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the villain, the woman who's the widow.
Harriet Sansom Harris.
She
I've
was-
seen in many. She's a famous that guy. I
Yeah.
feel.
She was great. I really
Yeah.
enjoyed her in this. Yeah.
She's Beebe in Frasier, and she was also in Desperate Housewives.
Okay.
But she's been in many things. She's in Adam's Family Values, I think.
Okay.
She's in Memento. That's probably where I'm thinking of her
Sure.
mostly from. Yeah.
Yeah, great cast.
Great casting.
Anyway, I'm going to say best Marvel special presentation ever.
And an assortment of other monster hunters, or all who are good, suitably bizarre character actor faces. And
Yes, but I will say
Yes.
I didn't love it.
okay,
And I think it could have taken it further in terms of how much werewolf we get, how many other
Okay.
creatures we get, an exploration of like the different hunters and who they are and what they can do.
They can
And-
die.
Yeah, they can die. I know, but still have them die.
yeah.
But I think you could have done more with that. And I understand there's limitations to time and budget and all of that, but we kind of only get a real good look at one other hunter, the guy with the big axe, and he's fun. And I'm like, I would have kind of liked that for more of them.
Oh, well, I mean, if this does well, and I think it seems to be doing critically, it seems to be doing.
Yeah,
quite
it's doing
well.
really well. Yeah.
I don't know how it's doing streaming wise. Maybe if you want a spooky Marvel thing to watch, on Halloween, maybe save this one up.
I don't. I want to watch it now, Mason.
Oh,
I had to
on
talk
what
about
though?
it.
What are you
Yeah.
going to watch it on?
A black and white television.
What's that in your hand, James? An iPhone?
Yeah, that's my
I
iPhone.
thought.
I'm just hoping loot boxes.
Yeah, I mean, I think in future we'll probably. I mean, there's probably plenty more monster hunters in this world, so
Yeah.
we'll see more of those. I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say best movie ever.
Yeah.
Best special presentation ever.
Totally.
And we can say that because it's the only one so far.
Yeah. But I also think, to get back to there's not a lot of werewolf in this.
Right.
And what we do see is kind of shrouded in darkness and whatever.
Just before we go that, I was going to say, this is kind of what I've wanted from the Marvel Universe for a while.
Weird stuff.
And just because it is such a, it is an industry unto itself. It's a medium unto itself at this point.
Yeah.
It's an entire, it's its own movie industry. So give us more. In She-Hulk, we've gotten a rom-com kind of rom-com sitcom Marvel thing, and I'm like, I think that's why I'm enjoying that. And this we get a horror Marvel thing, and is it up to the scratch of like some of the weird, bizarre horror stuff we've seen in the last couple of years? Not really, but I think it's
not where they're kind of going for. I would say. Yeah. No, I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
So
spoilers. We're in spoilers.
Spoilers,
Now.
yeah. So Ulysses Bloodstone.
Yes.
In the comics, he's a man who found a bloodstone.
He found a fragment of the bloodstone,
in as a caveman.
Yeah, well, he didn't find it so much as it got embedded in his chest and he became immortal, yeah.
Who's that other... I've talked about this comic.
Randall Savage?
No, there's another guy, and he's like a 1930s explorer. I love these comics, and he's got like a shard of a crystal in his chest.
Is this a is this a Miller World thing?
No. What's it called? God damn it, Mason. I'll find it while I'm talking about this.
But this, again, speaking of, I mean, the first time I encountered Ulysses Bloodstone was in an old black and white Hulk magazine from like the 70s or the early 80s, and it really gave me that same kind of vibe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially when the Man-Thing shows up. Which,
there's a lot of Man-Thing in this, which I appreciate.
Or Ted, as his real name is.
I thought the Man-Thing in this was terrific. Big fan of that. I saw a behind-the-scenes thing where like they built a Man-Thing.
Right.
A lot of it is CGI, and you can tell from that. But that effect when like the touch of the man thing and it burns you and whatever. When it grabs a person and the way that the fire kind of like consumes them, really good stuff.
Really good.
Yeah, I was surprised at how much.
And that word,
the black, I loved that as well.
The black and white. We've yet to see how that works in color if we're ever going to see the man thing again. But
we see it at the end in color.
No, but I mean the actually it consuming somebody with the fire.
Sure,
How's that going to look in color? We don't know. But I think in terms of like the black and white, that incredible contrast looked really good.
Really good, yeah. And because obviously the only color in this as well is it's the stone.
Yes.
And when it got colourful at the end to Somewhere Over the Rainbow, which is a nod to something, but I wish I knew what, Mason. She was wearing
Rainbow Bright.
Thank you.
Famous 80s property. We're bringing it back. We're bringing back Rainbow Bright.
She's wearing Elsa Bloodstone is wearing a red jacket. I'm like, red jacket. I would have thought it was like a yellow or a beige. I didn't realize it was a red jacket. But
makes sense though.
It totally does.
But you wouldn't want to get blood on it. Or you could get blood on it.
Yes. So Ulysses Bloodstone is like more or less immortal, which makes me think maybe he's not dead.
Right.
And this is some kind of, I mean, he could be. It wouldn't really matter. But what I thought was interesting about his daughter, or one of his, I think he has a bunch of kids.
Right.
Well, he would, because if it even is the version from the comics, it might not be. It might just be like a guy from the 50s or whatever. But when she turns up, she's like a big disappointment, and her stepmother's like, you should have stayed and done your training, but sure, you can go in this arena. And, you quickly learn, as does everybody else, that she hasn't been going away doing nothing. She's been obviously trained.
She's been taking karate classes at the YWCA.
She did the Black Widow thing in the flip. Do you reckon she did a Black Widow course?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she might have. But I thought all of that
Maybe she just learned it off YouTube.
Maybe she did. Maybe she did.
Hey guys, what's up? Thanks for subscribing and liking. And we saw this in the Battle of New York. And anyway, here's how you do it.
Here's how you do that thing. Yeah, but I really enjoyed her with, what's the Werewolf by Night's name?
Jack Russell.
Jack Russell, yeah. Like their interactions were quite good. I do also wonder, I'd love to know why he's known as a renowned monster hunter.
I think he just maybe took somebody else's identity.
Oh, is that what happened there? Okay.
Maybe?
Yeah.
Don't know.
Yeah, you're probably right. Did they explain that? Do they say his name?
No, he gives his name as Jack to Elsa.
Yes, but
otherwise I don't think it's explained. No.
Yeah.
No, I think it's implied that he took somebody else's identity to get in there. Like maybe he killed somebody.
Yeah, okay.
But that means he killed a guy who's had 100 confirmed kills. Maybe he just faked the identity. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe he just set the because he.
Well, maybe if in him, like maybe he does kill like Draculas and whatever.
Oh, maybe yeah.
And because he doesn't
and they just assume he's human.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Maybe.
I don't know. I don't actually know. But
actually, that makes more sense based on how they explain him to the other hunters. I think it maybe he has killed a bunch of vampires, and they just don't know he's a werewolf.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah,
but they also don't know him.
No,
they also
true.
don't know each other though, do they?
Seems most
because
of them
they're all
don't.
masked and
yeah.
Going
but what I
their
liked
business.
about this is there was so much unsaid and like the backstory. It did
there
feel
were
like
hints of stuff.
It did feel like an earlier Marvel movie where it's just like, okay, well, Jack and Ted have a pre-existing friendship, and it felt a little bit like Han and Chewie. It kind of felt like, okay, they've constantly been getting themselves in and out of scrapes and helping each other out of jams, and Man-Thing is constantly being captured, and Jack has to keep rescuing him, which I thought was fun.
Yeah.
How did they team up? Did Jack fall into a swamp one day?
Did he?
Maybe.
Presumably. I enjoyed that. We recently watched Man-Thing, which is coming out this week for Caravan of Garbage.
2005's Man-Thing.
Marvel movie, barely. And atrocious. But the Man-Thing in that looks quite good, I would say. We'll talk about it with the thing. But I think people seem to really like this version of Man-Thing as well, of like, he does have that kind of Chewbacca sidekick vibe, and he's kind of like, he's nice.
Yes.
Or he isn't, or he'll. Because what is it if you have any fear?
Well, it's not necessarily, it's generally it's fear and evil intent.
Yeah, okay, right.
Like if he can sense that you have ulterior motives and you're afraid, he knows that you're afraid and you're going to try and kill him or what have you. That's why Jack says to Elsa, talk to him like he's your friend. Say, hey, Ted, kind of thing.
Five Ghosts, the comic I just
Ghosts.
scrolled through my entire back catalogue of comics. It's
okay, right,
Five
you got
Ghosts.
there eventually.
If people haven't read Five Ghosts by Frank J. Barbary.
Spelled with a number 5 or?
No, F-I-V-E.
Okay, right.
Are they making more Five Ghosts, Mason? Am I thinking of Five Guys, a burger I've never had?
You might be thinking of that, yes.
Okay, cool. Well, here's a question for you.
Go on.
And by that I mean, this is what I think of this thing, and then you can say something.
Terrific.
So I wish we got more of the werewolf actual transformation.
Okay.
It's more done in shadow, but that effect.
But
that looks quite cool.
look, I'm sure they could have done it. But
definitely.
I think what is also interesting. I
just love a horrible transformation.
I would be fascinated to know what the Marvel movie going public at large think about this transformation, but also the werewolf design, because it's very much like 1950s Wolfman design, and you can see he
looks
human
like
face.
A guy, yeah.
Yeah, he looks like they haven't gone, okay, we'll give him an unrecognizable wolf face and the snout and the ears or whatever. It's more like it is like an old school Wolfman picture where it's kind of he's got mostly a human face, big canine teeth, and then like hair just around.
Yeah. Like framing his face.
Framing his face, yeah, which I liked, but it did. I was like, oh, that's the direction they're going in with this. Whereas when I think of like Marvel wolf characters, like
someone with a wolf head,
J. Jonah Jameson's son or what have you, they do have the traditional, or not that they have them rather than the I would call a modern interpretation of a werewolf, where they've gone the whole unrecognizable. Yes. It's no longer a human face. So
my like preference for werewolves and things is like that. Where it's more kind of, it's basically like a wolf that can stand up and has shoulders and stuff.
Right, sure.
You know what I mean? Like we saw it in, what's that werewolf movie where it's set in a cabin in England or whatever? What is it? Do you remember the one I'm talking about?
Not really. Dog Soldiers?
Dog Soldiers. Okay. Like that, or like, I quite like the design in Van Helsing, which is not a movie I love, but I like that kind of.
Yeah.
But this is, it's definitely a throwback. And I think also when you're hiring like a pretty prominent actor, you'd want to see their face.
That's true.
So it's not
and
a design.
That's a benefit for the actor.
Well, exactly. It's not a design that I like. That's not the design that I lean towards. But I also think when you're making something like this and you hire somebody like that, and maybe that person wants to be seen in this role, then you have it so you can see their face.
And also, but I liked it insofar as it was a throwback to older stuff. But that isn't to say in future movies, if we are putting werewolves in, that they couldn't have a different design, whatever. Or even this character, like the Hulk or like Iron Man's armors, you could have it say it evolved, or or
give it an Iron Man.
Exactly,
armor.
Different phases of the moon, he takes a slightly different form or what have you. So.
I liked also that he uses like scent memory.
Yeah.
Before he transforms, he's like, okay, I'm going to just smell you a bunch and hopefully this means I won't kill you.
That's right.
Yeah, I liked how he like immediately overpowered.
If you could give me a chicken nugget and then I'll...
I liked how he immediately overpowered the room. He busts out the top of the cage and then just tears through everybody. That was quite fun. Yeah, what was I going to say? Also, I thought the little fun little ending was good. They were sitting together and
palling around.
And
they built a little campsite for themselves.
Man-Thing made him a little coffee, and
it was nice.
That means they're mates when he's a werewolf as well, which is fun, not just as that. Yeah. What do you want to see next, like in the style of, not necessarily in the style of this, but like as a special presentation? Do they do like a wacky April Fool's something with some kind of trickster? They've got Loki, but
I definitely want to see a Christmas thing if that's the case. Well,
the Guardians is
that's true. Happening. Yeah, okay. So what's next? New Year's? Too soon?
No, I think it is. I think they are doing Guardians next.
No, I mean what's the next event?
Oh,
New Year's is probably too soon.
No, they couldn't do that. Yeah. Easter
is some sort of Easter
Jesus. Event? Does Jesus exist in the Marvel universe?
Great question, yeah.
Somebody email him.
Yeah.
Have we ever met Jesus? What kind of Iron Man armor is he in?
That's right. It'd be all white, I think. All white with gold accents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess
pristine.
You could do like a July 4th Captain America style thing or whatever. Yeah. But I don't think it necessarily has to tie to a holiday.
No, that's true.
But I wouldn't mind like a yearly Halloween something.
Yeah, like a Treehouse of Horror.
It doesn't have to be a werewolf. It can be, there's a million of these guys. There's a Dracula.
There is a Dracula.
What's Dracula up to?
Sure.
Let's have a look.
Yeah.
Tell me and show me what kind of Iron Man armor he's going to wear.
That's right. Black with red accents and a cape.
And a big collar. Big disco collar. Yeah, I don't know. But what about this, though? Like, is this guy going to show up on a team at some point? Like
I think
Midnight
so.
Suns or...
I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping for. Look,
a team of monsters?
I mean, I guess it depends what these actors particularly want to do. But if I had to guess, I would say... Marvel are exploring all avenues, all revenue streams, and all formats, including Android and iPhone.
Yep.
And I think they've gone, okay, we haven't done anything suitably supernatural. We want a supernatural Avengers. It's probably the Midnight Suns at this point.
Yeah. Put Doctor Strange in it.
I mean,
you need a normal guy in it.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to guess, I would say Doctor Strange needs to build a supernatural team to defend Earth when he's not there.
Okay,
So
yeah.
he's going to, because otherwise, like, Doctor Strange does kind of overpower all of these guys, realistically.
Yeah, true.
So my guess would be he needs to form a team to defeat supernatural stuff when he has to go into alternate dimensions or parallel universes or what have you. So he puts together Blade, Black Knight, Werewolf by Night, Man-Thing, some others.
Some others, hey?
Some others.
Yeah.
Can't think of Elsa Bloodstone. Put her on the
I was
team.
going to say, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think it would also be wise of Marvel to basically get in before Justice League Dark, which is what they tend to do.
When are they going to do Justice League Dark?
They're not,
Yeah.
but I feel like they should, and they haven't, and they've been talking about it for like 10 years.
Yeah.
DC, that is.
Yeah.
And I think there's only like a couple examples where DC got first, and one of them is Aquaman was before Namor.
Yes, right.
But they've made Namor. It's
To be clear, in the movies.
in the movies, yes. Oh, God, thank you. But
We've received tweets before. We know
Yeah.
Namor arrived first in the comic books.
But it seems as if also they've taken Namor in a fairly different direction as well, which is smart. I like all this. It appears like it seems as if I will like all the stuff that they're doing with that. That's good stuff, Mason. Anyway, I think that's pretty much it from me. If you have any final thoughts, Mason, leave them in the comments below.
I think we're going to get...
I said leave them in the comments below.
We're in the comments below.
Okay, cool.
I've tabbed down in the comments below. I think we're going to get that supernatural team. I'm wondering if the Marvels might... I'm wondering if we might get like a... I know the Guardians are like Interstellar Avengers, but I'm wondering if we might get a more... Like a team like the Annihilators or something like a big outer space.
Yeah.
Because
the Guardians are retiring as well.
That's true. Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I mean, set the groundwork for another team.
You can put in like Nova and
we
whatever.
also might get Blue Marvel, who's sort of like a Marvel's version of Superman kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm hoping for a Blue Marvel appearance in the Marvels, but
Right.
who knows, man?
Who knows?
Who knows, man?
Great stuff.